Hi, and welcome to my first pre-foundations workout. So I went and took the foundations workout and made it into the same moves, but maybe some even more modifications in order to make it a little more doable for people who are either just starting or coming back from an injury, surgery, something like that. So here, we're just going to go ahead and get started. First, I'll make sure you are released by a doctor to do your workout. Make sure you have the right equipment, and always engage your core when doing these, especially when at any time, engagement of core is so important to protecting your back and putting you in the right position. We're going to start with the front squat. So the front squat is the very first move in the workout for the foundations total body. And we're going to actually start with no weights. And we're going to do it to a chair or to a bench. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the chair, sitting back in it, and then up. And I want you to sit all the way down. I want your feet to be hip width apart. So this is my hip bones. My feet are under my hips. When I sit down, my legs, my knees, my ankles should be pretty much in line. So my feet shouldn't be way out here. I see people do this a lot. So you want to kind of find your seating and then sit up. All right, so this time, no hands. So we're going to sit down in the squat very slow and then press away. So you're sitting down and then pressing through the heels, so the back of the foot, midfoot to heel, pressing the floor away and bringing yourself up, okay? So we're gonna do that 10 more times. Ready? So we're gonna go down and up. So 1, my core is engaged, I'm breathing in, breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Trying not to use any momentum, just pressing the floor away. That was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now, for time's sake, I'm not going to take a break. It's best if you can set your timer, take 30 seconds to a minute, how much time you need to recover. But for time's sake on this video, I'm going to go ahead and start with the next set. So pause if you need and set a timer, or we're going to grab one light weight, and I'm going to hold it at the chest. So this is going to be a front squat position with a 2-pound dumbbell. So again, I'm going to find my spot, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started, engaging my core, which means pull my belly button to my spine. My ribs and my hips are in line. My ribs aren't sticking out. My ribs and hips in line. And then I'm going to sit back in the squat, and then I'm going to lead with the elbows up. That was not a great rep. I'm going to try again. We're going to go down, lead with the elbows up. There we go. So we're going to go down and up. We're going to start our set. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got the weight right against my chest. 5. Don't want it too far away because I don't want it to lead me away. 6, 7, 8. Good. Pressing the floor away. 9. Last rep. Breathe in. Breathe out. 10. Bring the weight down nice and careful, close to the body. All right. Again, pause. If you need to take a break, I'm going to go ahead and go into the third set. This time I'm going to grab my other 2, and I'm going to go ahead and go into that front rack position. This is what it looks like from the side. I'm just bringing the weights up neutral grip with my palms facing each other. I don't rest the weights. I'm just bringing the weights hovering over my shoulder. I have my elbows in, and I'm in that front rack position. I'm gonna find my chair, make sure my feet are under, my ankles are under my feet, and I'm gonna start from the top. So I'm gonna engage my core, breathe in. As I come down, press away at the floor for 1. Down, breathe in, out, 2. On the way up, I'm leading with my elbows. Now, I'm gonna concentrate on going down slow, up fast. That's 5. That's 6. You can sit all the way down or tap. 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right, that is the end of our front squat. I give you 3 options. You can continue with the first option all the way through. You can start with the third option. Depends on how many times you've done this and how comfortable you're getting with it. I'm sweating, so I hope that you are sweating. And we're gonna move on to the second move. So our second move is an upright row. This is an upper back shoulder move. I'm going to start with a band. So I have a few different bands here. This is a banded, it's kind of like a tube band, wide, not as tight. I'm going to stand on it with both feet. Depends on how tall you are. I'm short, so I don't, maybe going to stand a little bit more like hip width. Sometimes how you stand has to depend on how tall you are and how long the bands are. This, I'm going to keep my hands close together, my thumbs are here, and I'm going to pull my shoulders down and back. I'm going to think about using the back of the top part of my shoulder as I bring it up, and I'm only going to go to my belly button. Right there. We're going to go ahead and start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm leading with the elbows. 6, not shrugging my shoulders. 7, 8. Think about using the back part of your shoulder. And that's 10. Good. Now, this time, take a break if you need to. I'm going to go into the second set. I'm going to show you a little bit higher this time. But we're never going to go higher than the bra line. So a way that a lot of people can really hurt their shoulder in this move is 1, using too heavy a weight, 2, shrugging their shoulder, and 3, leading with the elbow way up here. Our arm doesn't need to be higher than shoulder height in anything that we do that is not an overhead press. So my shoulders are down and back. I'm going to lead with the elbows. This time I'm going to go up to the bra and down slow. That's 1, 2. Good. Again, my core is engaged. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, moving with those elbows. 8, 9, think about the upper back shoulder. 10, good. All right, third set, pause to take a break, and then you can continue doing it the way we've been doing it. Just use your reps along with me, or we can pick up these 2s. I'm gonna put my shoulders behind me, down and back. I'm going to engage my core, pull in my ribs and my hips in line, shoulders on back, and I'm going to lift. For 5, I'm going to lift just to the belly button. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to go to the bra line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, and that's going to be 3 sets of 10 on that upright row. All right, take a break. If you need it, get a sip of water. Next, we're going to be working on the chest press. Now, there's no way to use weights on a chest press unless you're lying down. For this pre-foundation, I don't want you laying down with weights. What I want you thinking about is correct positioning, breathing, and core. And so we're going to use bands only. If you don't have bands, do the moves without any weights and without any bands. But I will be linking some bands because you're going to want to add a little bit of a resistance eventually before you start adding weights. So we're going to do these seated chest press. It's going to look like, and this is a 10-pound band. Bands are in different sizes. And this might take me a second to remember. Be careful getting into your position. What I just did, kind of reaching behind me, I was trying to be really careful. You want to be really careful. So I'd go ahead and put the band behind you first. You're going to want it to be kind of at a lower angle. So right here it's under my chair, that way it's not going to slip. And then I'm going to put my arms, and I'm actually going to hold it a little awkward. It's probably going to be people that tell you not to do that, but I'm going to tell you why I'm going to do that in a minute. So I'm going to keep my shoulders down and back. If I was on the floor, I would do the same thing. I'd plant my feet, I'd engage my core, I'd have my elbows, I call it a pizza slice, and it is 45 degrees from my body. I would start here and then press straight over the chest like this. We're going to go ahead and start with 1, 2. I want to get in the habit of making sure I'm bringing my elbows back to that 45 degree. 5. So I'm going to breathe in on the way down and then out. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. I'm going to rest. So the reason I kind of made it this underhanded thing is because I know the problem with bands are that they rub against your body. And I know a lot of people don't like that, and it'll cause people to not want to use bands. So maybe the appropriate way is to do it this way, but it's really going to rub and feel uncomfortable. So I'm going to just keep this. We're going to do that 2 more times. I really don't have anything to add to it. We're just working on keeping those shoulders down and back, engaging the core, and keeping that 45 degrees. So once the arms start creeping up, I know that I did a few on the last one, I can see it, and I would correct. You're starting to use your shoulders. We don't want chest press to be a shoulder exercise. We want to think about using the chest muscles here. So go ahead and get into position 45 degrees, and let's go ahead and press together and then back down for 1, 2, breathe out and in, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to rest. You'll notice that I bring the bands down close to the body and then down. That is just to go ahead and train your brain and your mind to always bring your weights to center when you're done. You never want to fall out of position from here and just fall here when you're holding weights. So we're going ahead and training now for that. All right, if you need to pause, but I'm going to go ahead and get into that 3rd set. Don't want you rushing through. I want you taking those breaks. Something I forgot to talk about is that we're keeping reps in reserve. So especially on that 3rd set, on your 3rd set, really when you're first starting, I want you to feel like you could do a whole nother set. And then when you've been doing it for a few weeks, I want you to feel like you could do 4 or 5 more. And then you're pretty much going to be ready to move on when you're, well, let's see, kind of set that backwards. And then I wanted you to get to 2 sets, and then when you're completely comfortable with the move, you've been doing it for a while, and you feel like you could really do another set, even though you've been doing it for a while, that's when I want you to move on to foundations. But we're going to go ahead and do our 3rd set. So my shoulders are down and back, my core is engaged, my gaze is up, and I'm going to press together, and then down, back. 2, 3, so we're going to press hard, and then back slow. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm bringing that back down. All right, we're going to move on to the overhead press. The overhead press, we are going to do it seated. We're going to do it, and we are going to use weights. And we're going to do it in the most, the best way for your core, your back, which is part of your core. We don't want you arching. I'm just going to give you several different options. But single arm and neutral grip is the way to start, and is how I start all my clients' personal training on the overhead press. So we're going to pull our shoulders down and back. We're going to do 10 reps per arm, but again, do what you can. So I'm going to bring into that kind of, not a front rack position. A front rack position is more parallel to the ground. I'm going to keep my elbows about 45 degrees from the body here, and then I'm not resting. I'm going to hold my core. So I'm going to pull my belly button to my spine, and then I'm going to breathe out. And I've got my palms, like if I had 2 ways, they'd be facing each other. And for my first set, I'm not going to worry as much about getting my tricep or bicep to my ear. I'm just going to press up and then back down slow. 1. So I'm a little bit ahead. 2 of my body. 3, 4, 5. The reason I'm not going into a full extension close, this is 7, to my ear is because I don't want to arch my back. So 9, 10. I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to engage my core. I'm going to raise my arm. I'm going to do 10 again. So I'm going to go up, 1. Again, I'm going a little bit in front of my body. 2, not close to my ear. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. We're going to rest. Pause it. You're probably, especially as you're getting into the workout, this is our 4th set. Rests need to be a little longer. We're getting more fatigue. You need a little bit more recovery. You need sips of water. So pause before we start this next set. I'm going to pull my shoulders down and back. We're going to start the 2nd set now. This time I am going to go all the way up to my, bringing my bicep to my ear. But if that causes you to arch your back at all or feel any pain, then just keep the arm a little bit in front of you. All right, let's go ahead and start. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we're going to start again. Ready and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and bring it down. All right, we've got one more set to do, and this one I am going to do standing. So for standing, I'm going to stagger my stance, and all that means is that one foot will be back on a railroad track behind the other, so not on a tightrope. I'm going to engage my core, bring the weight up, pause if you need to or not. We're going to go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and raise up. 1. Remember, you can do this, 2, and not worry about all the way to the ear. It's 3, 4. You can do full extension. 4. If there's no pain and no arching in the back. 5, 6, 7. I'm keeping my shoulders down and back. 8, 9, 10. Bring it down close to the body. Switch. Engage your core. Bring the weight up. And let's do our final set. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you don't bring your head to your arm. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and bring it down. Okay, we are almost done. We've got one more move to do, and that's going to be a chest fly. Again, the chest fly is on the floor, but there is no way to do it safely due to gravity. Just going to pull those weights down with weights. So we're going to use resistant band. I'm going to use a different band on this because this skinny little rubber band, and I'll link it also, is going to just work better for this move. I'm going to carefully put it behind my body. Okay, got a little tangle. Here we go. I want it to be comfortable, and I think, see, I practiced it, so I'm going to show you from behind that it is kind of in between my shoulder blades here. And then we're going to hug a tree. We're going like that. I'm going to hug the tree, and then I'm going to open, keeping that bend in the elbow. Engage core. 3. Now it's a band. It's going to move sometimes. Someone just went around my neck. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. What I want you to know about that is, one, bands are uncomfortable. Being in the gym is uncomfortable. It's pretty much one of the things being in the gym is about being uncomfortable. We're going to sweat, we're going to be hot, we're going to do movements we don't like, we are going to be doing something maybe we'd rather be doing something else. Sometimes our grip hurts, sometimes our bands rub against us, move, our weights hurt our grip. But it's okay to be uncomfortable, because actually being in the gym is about being uncomfortable for 30 minutes to an hour to build resilience, so that when you're uncomfortable later in your day, you already know how to deal with it. Like, you've built up a resistance to being uncomfortable. I think part of culture is that we want to be comfortable all the time, and we've kind of believed that that's how we are meant to be. But I also don't believe that we are meant to be comfortable all the time. I believe we're actually made to be uncomfortable in our flesh and fight against it, and trying to build that character and that resistance to do things that maybe our flesh does not want to do. That doesn't mean you work through pain. That doesn't mean that, if something is causing you pain and could be injuring you, that you push through that. No. But, this band is not the most comfortable thing right here. it's not rubbing on me because I'm not pushing forward with it. I'm just doing this. So, but it's not also the most fun, comfortable thing either. All right, that was a long break. We're gonna start our second set. So I'm gonna start at hug the tree. I'm gonna keep that C, and I'm gonna come out and squeeze here. So this time what I want you to think about is lengthening, squeezing the top of the pec, lengthening the chest of the arms. That was 3, 4, 5, core is engaged, 6, shoulders are down and back, 7, 8, I'm not going any further back than my body, 10. If I was on the floor, I wouldn't be able to go back further than my body, right? So when I'm sitting down, I also don't want to do the same thing. All right, we have got one more set. I want to keep this video short, so pause if you need it. Well, not just if you need it, pause it. But we're going to go ahead and do our third and final set of this workout, and then we're going to be done. We're going to cool off. So shoulders are down and back, core is engaged. I'm going to breathe in and then out as I squeeze, and I'm not going to bring my hands all the way together. 2. I want a little bit of tension there. 3. I don't want the muscle to get disengaged. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to bring it down, come out gently from that. And let's go ahead and just do a few, let's stretch the shoulder. I'm going to bring the arm up, shoulders are down, palms up. I'm going to look in the opposite direction as I pull across my body. Deep breath. Again. Into the nose, out through the mouth. I'm going to switch, palm is up, looking in the opposite direction. Breathe in, breathe out. Good, again. I'm going to breathe in. I'm going to do a few overhead reaches. You can do this standing. Bring it out. Again. Out. One more. In. Overhead reach. No shrugging. And out. From here, I'm going to do a few shoulder rolls. So I'm going to do one at a time. Out, back. So up, down, and back. Up, down, and back. Up, down, and back. Up, down, and back. I'm going to do a few more. Up, down, back. Up, down, back. And up, down, back. I'm going to finish with just a few hugs. So I'm just bringing one arm over the other and just kind of letting it swing. I'm going to finish with, just because I'm feeling some tension in my neck, I did do a workout right before this for my High Rocks training, so it could be from that, but just be on the safe side. I'm going to pull my shoulders down and back. I'm going to bring my hand to gently, not apply pressure, but just let the neck loosen on its own. So I'm not pulling, I'm just letting it, gravity do its thing. And then I'm going to come back to center, use my other hand, gently let gravity stretch the muscles in the neck without applying any pressure. I'm not pushing. Deep breath, and then I'm going to come up nice and gentle. All right, that is your workout for today, your pre-foundation total